You're listening to Inside Real Estate with Irv Tremblay on Newstalk 980.
Irv, good to chat with you again. How have you been?
Fantastic, David.
We're going to get into something today. This is, and it's one of your favorite topics. They're your favorite people, the for sale by owner people.
Love them.
Now, this is, I mean, Irv, you're a top flight real estate agent guru.
Sure.
Why would you love people who are trying to sell their own home? I mean, come on. Doesn't that cut into your business?
Not at all. Doesn't cut into my business. I do very well because of for sale by owners, because I can call them, I can communicate to them that I am almost always going to put more money in their pocket. And I truly believe this. Mm-hmm. There are agents that don't believe that. I truly believe it, that I will put more money in their pocket than they will on their own, even after they pay me. And I believe that. I think there's a lot of agents out there don't believe that. I absolutely believe that. The day that somebody who has never sold a house, or I'll talk to them on the phone and they tell me, I sold 3 houses, Irv. I know how to do this. Well, I've sold 3,000. I think I know how to do it.
You might have the edge there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if I can't get you more money, be a better negotiator, get you exposure to the best buyers through agents, and most of the time they won't even have an opportunity to sell to agents, and that's who has best buyers, there is no way they're better than me. I'm always better than them. I don't care about their sales background. I don't care. I'm better than they are, and I can prove it to them.
That's the key thing, is you can prove it. You've got the track record, you've got the numbers, the stats, you've got everything right there, so you can literally say, here it is.
It's interesting. I send out a package, and that package, has a picture of me. Well, that's not going to get you a listing. My picture isn't going to get me a listing. And, it has some information about selling. The most important part in the package is a stack of about 300 for sale by owners that I've listed and sold in recent years, where they were on the greatest websites, and they had, balloons, and they had signs, and they had a website at work, and they thought they had exposure, and they're advertising, and they're having public open houses.
Train seals in the kiddie wading pool in the front yard. It was
cookies and who knows what else. They had all that going for them. They didn't sell their house. Along comes Irv. I list the property. Sometimes I raise the price, sometimes I lower the price, sometimes I keep the price the same. With my expertise, on average, more than 300, around 300, it took me, including financing, 34 days to sell all those properties. Why did their property not sell with that exposure, those balloons? Oh, God forbid, offering agents 2 and 3% to come and show their house. It didn't work. I know what works, I can prove it to them, and I will make them more money.
So, I mean, anyone who's listened to this program knows you're the real meal deal. I mean, you know what you're doing, you've got the track record, you've got anything else. Why would someone want to try to sell their own home? I mean, what's the mindset there?
Well, I think the mindset is this, that they get advice from so many people that aren't really accountable for the free advice they're giving out.
Usually, which is what it's worth. Yeah.
Sure. And so the neighbor, the friend, the relative says, oh, I have a friend that sold on a website and sold their house themselves. Anybody can sell their house themselves. That's not the issue. The issue is selling that house at the most amount of money, the net, after my commission. Reducing your liability and the net amount that you walk away with. It's not about my commission. It's not about selling on your own. It really is the net. And so the mindset
What's in your pocket at the end of the day?
Sure. The mindset is that, gee, it's easy to sell. Why would I hire an agent? If I can sell a house for the same amount as Irv can, I'm money ahead, and I'm with them there, except they can't.
So this is the mindset. And people, are going, well, why not? I mean, it's, how hard can it be, right? People show up. I just put a little ad out there. I've talked to these friends of mine. I get a pretty good idea. I mean, I know what houses are worth, right?
Sure.
People will show up and, yeah, why would I want to pay commission?
Sure.
Why would I want to do that? Or is it the money issue, or do they just not like real estate agents?
Well, first off, let's cover one thing that you said early in that conversation is why not? Well, I'll give you a great example. Why not? I talk to for sale by owners every day. Every new for sale by owner, I phone. And here's what I get. Well, I've only had my house on the market 30 days. Well, if I had my house on the market in a record market for 30 days, I don't think continuing on with your plan is very good.
Something's not working.
It's not working. If I have a listing in a hot market like this for 30 days, we're sitting down and changing the whole marketing strategy at that point. But they have very little ability to change, and they don't really know what's wrong. And so I think one of the main things is that most for sale by owners have met agents, may have friends in the business, but they have failed to meet an agent that showed them real value, or they would have hired them. If they met an agent that showed them value, and what I mean by that is if they met an agent that showed them after paying that agent and hiring that agent, they could net more money, they would have hired them. And I get a laugh out of this when I phone it for sale by owners. First off, most of them don't pay to get a certified appraisal. They phone 3 friends in real estate or 3 people in real estate, and often friends, and they tell me, I have a friend in real estate. Well, I know right up front, they don't have any confidence in that friend. They don't have any confidence or see value in that friend because they would have hired that friend if they thought there was value in hiring them and they could put more money in their pocket. So they don't see any value in agents. They don't think that they need an agent. And most of the time, they don't like agents. They don't trust agents. It's a combination. But number one, it's they don't see the value. Or they would have hired one.
So, and that's part of that conversation that you have. And you were talking, before we kind of went on the air, there was some statistics from, I think it was the National Association of Realtors, in terms of the for sale by owners and what happens when they actually are contacted by agents. And the numbers, I was really surprised at the numbers.
Well, what's interesting is that if they didn't like agents before they were contacted by agents, they surely won't like them after they are contacted by most agents, because most agents are not trained correctly to help for sale by owners. They have no training. Well, gee, I see that Irv Tremblay. He lists a lot of for sale by owners. They have no training. They pick up the phone and they phone a for sale by owner. And the first thing they tell them is, oh, you're doing this all wrong. Well, I can tell you that will not win over a for sale by owner.
Well, all right.
That's the first thing they tell them. Well, you got to be kidding, trying to sell on your own. You're doing that all wrong, and you don't know what you're doing. That's what they say, because there's very little training out there. The training that is out there is expensive, and it's not here. You have to travel for that training. How long does it take? Well, I've been training to help for sale by owners for 19 of my 20 years, and I still take that training. And so agents call them up, and actually they reaffirm often by what they say that the agent doesn't like them, they don't trust them, and they can tell.
They reinforce that dislike or that
Sure.
untrustworthiness that the for sale by owner might feel.
Well, and I think so many of those agents come across, and they come across that they're making the call for themselves, not to help the seller. And that's not good. My job is to help the seller. Yes, I get paid in the end, but my job is to help the seller realize more money, reduce their liability, and help them get moved.
I want to touch on the major problems for
Sure.
sale by owners.
Absolutely.
There's some key issues and this is part, again, of the phone call that you might make and the conversation you might have, and we're going to get into that when we come back.
Sure.
Lots of information, Irv's website, www.irvsells.ca. That's irvsells, all one word, .ca. Or you can call Irv instead of him calling you, 790-3753, 790-3753. Turn the key, taking care of your business. Irv Tremblay, you're listening to Inside Real Estate. Irv Tremblay with Century 21. Back after this.
On Newstalk 980.